Look, some of the parts of the bill says we should let it be such that widows, the women who's lost their husband, have the rights to direct the interest of the children, unless those interests will be, infacted upon somehow. How is that going against the culture? It says the woman should have the right to remarry if they want and who they want. I don't know what's wrong with that. Above all, I would like to encourage gender-focused organizations. At some point, they need to get strong legal opinion on some of what people like Senator Yoima are saying about how it goes against the culture. They need to sponsor a very strong legal position on some of that and essentially take them to court and then let them explain it. You can't just stand on a platform and then, say these things just like that. And that is the basis on which this thing was thrown out. A complete shame.
How do we start, the truth is that tradition and religion is a big deal for Nigerians. Our culture is very important to us, which is why a lot of these things are always strongly debated. How do we start divorcing that? Because you even find in the developed world, there are a lot of issues that come up, and once religion gets in the way, it becomes very dicey. In America today, abortion is still a big issue. Why? Because of religion. Republicans are pro-abortion, are against abortion, and Democrats are mostly pro it. So religion will always be tied to our laws somehow. Is there a way of then trying to divorce it with matters like this?
There is a way, and this is one of the ways to continue to engage people, the society, over time. We all have to play our parts, essentially. We know what is standard acceptable behavior. I pretty much assume we all now know it's not right to kill twins anymore. Now, some culture, some tradition, allowed it in the past. I think on the low, it may still be going on. We'll be shocked. It may still be going on. But like you said, it's in the past, it was open. It was acceptable. But over time, people spoke up, people acted, and that is what we're trying to do. Part of the bill, you see, that's why I said maybe they need to pick up the bill and find, go through the bill with a fine-toothed comb and see exactly what the bill is saying. I don't know how it is against anyone's culture that for 2 years, a pregnant woman should have, in public sector, should have access to maternal health care. A very simple statement. How is that?
Is it possible that, because there were some parts of the bill that were not necessarily acceptable to some of the senators, decided to throw everything out? Because, like you're saying, there are definitely parts of the bill that make sense to any human being who's alive. Let's talk about abortion, for example. There's a section there that's, I'm not particularly sure now, that talks about, the woman's rights to terminating the pregnancy or something along those lines with regards to when she's raped or when her own health is in danger, her life is in danger. Most people hear abortion and get scared immediately and they don't want to be involved in that, mostly because of religious reasons, So we're introducing the bill now with properly, maybe, I don't know how to put it, making sure that certain sections are acceptable, or is that something we should be looking at?
We should stay clear of that. I'm a Christian. If you're Catholic, you probably have very strong views about abortion because of your religion. I have my own personal views about abortion because of my religion as well. But I can tell you right here, right now, that the right of a woman over her body should be sacrosanct, okay? Now, if she then decides that my culture says this, at least the law allows her to go with her culture. Do you see how this slants come in? The culture allows the woman to decide what she wants to do. Go with your culture, or here's your right to go with your culture or not to go with your culture. It's a very simple one. So I would say we don't overly bother about this situation of where does the culture meet religion meets the law.
Yeah, so I just wanted to read the section clearly.
Yes,
section 12C, sorry, says the government shall protect the reproductive rights of women to terminate a pregnancy in cases of sexual assault, rape, incest, and where the continued pregnancy endangers the mental and physical health of the mother or the life of the mother or the fetus. It makes sense to a lot of people in that language. Yes. But when religion comes in, like you've said, there are people who say a fetus is a human. You don't kill whatever the case is. So
Well,
sessions like that will always be controversial, is what I'm
it
saying.
would be and more so, how many ethnic backgrounds do we have in Nigeria? How many religions do we have? The fact that there are two, screaming religions, pardon my use, in the country doesn't mean we don't have more. In fact, people are going back to their roots now because they feel some sort of let down by the, organized religions that we know. But if we take that out, what's left? We want to protect the woman's choice. She's been attacked. They're not saying they're not saying between a man and a wife, for instance. If there's been an incident, the woman should have the right to decide what she wants to do. I also would like to use this opportunity to enjoin gender advocacies to communicate strategically some of these bills. We know how these things work. You have to lobby the people that would vote. You have to explain to them exactly what you're trying to get passed. They have to buy it. So whilst I'm going to not give room for Senator Yerima, I mean, this is not the first time we're battling. We had the Child Not Bride where he stoked up the entire nation, if you like, by his utterances. And, I hate to talk about him as a person, not personally. What I mean is I hate to discuss some of the issues that come from those engagements. But the fact is that when we have well-meaning senators who don't understand what they're voting about, we would have this situation. Across the country, you may have observed that yourself, Ebuka. Across the country, men and women want this bill to pass. Okay? And these are the senators that represent us. So it's all now left to strategy. Yeah. How do we get it to happen?
So Mr. Senate President, Senator Bukola Saraki has said he will work on introducing the bill now with more awareness with Nigerians and all of that. So in one sentence or two, quickly, what do you want to see happen this time?
What I would like to see happen first is for our senators to pick this bill up and go through it, call people like us who's gone through it, call gender advocacy organizations, people, and explain to them exactly what your exceptions are. So maybe we can sort it out. I would also like to enjoin Nigerians, do not keep quiet. When you have the chance to say something, say it very clearly, very loud.
Thank you very much, Dube. You very, very enlightening there. We'll keep our eyes open, of course, watching the Nigerian Senate. Hopefully, things get better from here.
Yes, hopefully.
Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more right here on Rub Your Minds. Please stay.